In the next 10 seconds, freezing water can steal control of your breathing before your brain understands you have fallen in. In the next minute, your chest may lock, your heart may race, your hands may start becoming useless, and the biggest mistake is thinking hypothermia is the first thing that kills you. This is why cold water safety is not a soft warning. The first minute can decide whether your body gets a second chapter. You hit the water. There is no slow fade, no heroic swimming moment. The cold slams into your skin like thousands of needles at once. Your mouth opens, your chest jerks, your lungs try to pull in air with a violent, involuntary gasp. If your face is underwater when that gasp happens, the danger is immediate. That is the first dark truth of freezing water. Your body's first survival reflex can become the thing that puts you in danger. Second zero. Your skin detects the sudden cold and fires alarm signals into your nervous system. Your breathing jumps, your heart rate climbs, your blood pressure rises. Blood vessels near the skin squeeze tight, trying to protect your core temperature. This is cold shock, not panic, not weakness. Biology. And it can happen even if you are fit, calm, or a good swimmer. 10 seconds in. You try to think, but your breathing is louder than your thoughts. The water feels so cold your chest may feel crushed. Your arms slap at the surface. Your legs kick too hard. You may inhale sharply again and again, because the cold has hijacked the rhythm that normally keeps you alive. This is why the first minute is not about swimming like an action hero. The first minute is about keeping your mouth above water long enough to get your breathing back. If freezing water wins control of your breathing, it does not need to wait for hypothermia. It already found the front door. 30 seconds in. Your brain searches for the surface, the edge, the boat, the shore. But stress hormones surge, vision narrows, and instincts scream, "Move now." Sometimes moving now is right. Sometimes it is the trap. Hard swimming increases breathing demand. Panic turns a short distance into a bad decision made at full speed. Freezing water is not impressed by confidence. It has met confident people before. 1 minute in. The first shock may begin to ease, but that does not mean you are safe. It means the first danger is handing the job to the next one. Now the question changes. Can you still move well enough to save yourself? Your arms and legs are cooling. Your fingers may feel thick. Your grip weakens. Simple movements become clumsy. You can still be conscious, still thinking, still aware of the danger, and already be losing the body parts you need most. 2 minutes in. You reach for a dock ladder. Your brain knows exactly what to do. Grab, pull, step, climb. Simple, but your fingers do not close properly. Your forearms feel heavy. Your feet do not kick with clean force. The water has not frozen your whole body. It has targeted the tools. That is cold incapacitation, and it can begin before dangerous core hypothermia. People imagine cold water survival like a thermometer slowly dropping until the body shuts down. But the real sequence is more brutal. Breathing goes first, then useful movement, then judgment, then deep body temperature. Hypothermia is coming, but it is not the first attacker through the door. 3 minutes in. Now comes the first big choice. Do you swim, or do you stay with flotation? If the exit is close, controlled movement may help. But if the shore is far, the current is strong, or clothing is dragging you down, a desperate swim can burn the energy you need. A life jacket does not cancel cold shock, but it helps keep your airway above water. In freezing water, the airway is the battlefield. 5 minutes in. On the surface, this looks like a simple accident. A person falls into freezing water and starts getting cold. But here is the twist. The most dangerous part may happen while the person still looks alive, alert, and capable. They may shout. They may reach. They may even tell themselves, "I can make it." But inside the body, cold shock has disrupted breathing, cold has weakened the limbs, and energy is being spent fast. The clock is not just counting down to hypothermia. It is counting down to the moment when the person can no longer rescue themselves. Ask yourself this: what would scare you more in that moment? Losing control of your breathing, or realizing your hands can no longer hold the ladder? Comment with one word: breathing or hands. 7 to 10 minutes in. Survival courses often use a rough teaching idea. 1 minute to control breathing, around 10 minutes of useful movement, and roughly 1 hour before loss of consciousness may occur in some conditions. But that is not a promise. Temperature, clothing, health, waves, current, injury, and flotation all change the clock. By now, your arms and legs may be losing strength faster than willpower can replace it. A phone at 1% battery can still light up the screen. That does not mean it can run navigation. 10 to 15 minutes in. Now the fading brain enters the story. This is not the movie version where someone instantly becomes confused and collapses. At first, your choices may still feel reasonable. You may aim for a bright light instead of the safest exit. You may stop shouting because talking costs energy. A quiet person may not be calm. They may be running out of usable body. Shivering may begin or intensify. It is useful, but expensive. It burns energy, makes movement less precise, and can make breathing feel rougher. And in water, heat loss is severe because water pulls heat away from the body far faster than air at the same temperature. Cold air bites. Cold water drags heat out like it owns the place. Here is another what if. What if the water is not literally frozen, just very cold? That still matters. Cold water below about 15 degrees Celsius or 59 degrees Fahrenheit can seriously affect breathing and movement. The day can look normal. The water can be lethal. Nature loves fine print. 20 minutes in. Now hypothermia is becoming more relevant, but no honest explanation can give one perfect minute for every person. Body size, clothing, water movement, injury, health, and flotation all matter. Dangerous cooling can happen quickly, but the earliest life-threatening events are often cold shock, drowning risk, heart strain, and loss of movement. Hypothermia is real. It is just not polite enough to wait its turn. 30 minutes in. Hypothermia signs may become clearer. Worsening coordination, confusion, slurred speech, poor judgment, exhaustion. Later, if hypothermia becomes severe, shivering can weaken or stop. That is not improvement. That is the furnace failing. And here is the counterintuitive part. The person may not feel as terrified anymore. That sounds comforting. It is not. A cooling brain can become slower, foggier, and less alarmed. So if someone becomes quiet, confused, or oddly calm, the danger has not passed. The alarm system may be shutting down. If that changes how you think about cold water, subscribe. Dark truth is where the body tells the story before the myth gets a chance. 35 minutes in. If rescue arrives now, it is not automatically over. A severely cold person can deteriorate just before, during, or after rescue. Experts describe this as circum-rescue collapse. Freezing water does not stop attacking just because a boat appears. 40 to 50 minutes in. The biological chapter has changed. At 5 minutes, the battle may be breathing and movement. At 50 minutes, the battle may be cooling, confusion, exhaustion, and an unstable heart. Same water, different body. Fitness helps, but it does not cancel cold shock. Alcohol is worse. A warm lie is still a lie. 1 hour in. Some people repeat the 1 hour idea like a countdown timer. It is not. It is a rough survival teaching tool, not a scientific guarantee. In freezing water, one person may deteriorate earlier. Another may last longer. Clothing, flotation, body size, water movement, injury, health, and rescue timing all matter. There is no clean universal clock. There are overlapping failures. First, your breathing is attacked, then your movement, then your judgment, then your core temperature, then the heart becomes increasingly vulnerable. And all of this can happen while the shore looks close enough to make you think you should be fine. That is the dark truth of freezing water. It can be flat. It can be quiet. It can look almost peaceful. Then it turns your own reflexes against you. The gasp meant to pull in air can pull in water. The blood vessel squeeze meant to protect the core can strain the heart. The shivering meant to warm you can burn precious energy. The calm that arrives later can mean the brain is cooling, not that danger is fading. So what happens after you fall into freezing water? In the first seconds, your breathing can be hijacked. In the first minute, survival depends on controlling that shock and keeping your airway above water. In the next minutes, your hands, arms, and legs can lose the power needed to escape. After that, hypothermia becomes the slow door closing behind the earlier emergencies. The first minute is not just the beginning. It can decide whether the body gets a second chapter. Now watch what smoke does to your lungs before fire ever touches your skin.